Jocelyn Allo getting set to go. Oklahoma, the visitors. She will bat second in the lineup with a 16-game hitting streak. And the starting lineup for the Sooners brought to you by Capital One. Already with World Series records of 5 home runs, 11 runs scored. Has been quite a tandem with Tiare Jennings right behind her there. Also with 5 home runs here in Oklahoma City. And there is the senior from Hauula, Hawaii. And for more on her story, here's Holly Rowe.
Well, when this season started, Jocelyn Allo was on pace to break the all-time home run record. The problem, early in the season, nobody would throw to her. So it was only fitting that on a trip to Hawaii, playing back in her home state, Jocelyn Allo held a camp for young girls. She spoke to them on that field and said, "This is a full circle moment. I play for you," and repping the state of Hawaii. And 2 days later, the unthinkable happened. Yes, she got that record and made history.
There's a new home run queen in college softball, and she still resides in Norman, Oklahoma. And her name is Jocelyn Aloha Pumihana Allo.
Such a beautiful moment in her home state in front of so many friends and family. And Jocelyn told those kids in the park where she grew up playing, "Every moment I play for you." And here tonight, she is again full in her heart with her friends from Hawaii representing that state and hoping to crown her home run record with a national championship tonight.
Yeah, from the North Shore of Oahu, a lot of eyes in the islands on Jocelyn Allo tonight, the 2-time National Player of the Year. And here is the pitcher that the Sooners will face. It's Estelle Check, the sophomore from Illinois.
Estelle Check, you're going to see a lot of rise ball, curve ball, some off speed, but the goal, Mike White, his Texas Longhorns, is to expand the zone and try to get Oklahoma to chase more in this game.
Jada Coleman to lead it off. So critical for Texas to win the first inning and then go from there. They have been just destroying people in the first inning, scoring a ton of runs all year long. They have already scored 11 runs in the first inning in their last 4 games here at the World Series, including a 5 spot on the Horns last night. There were 3 errors committed in the inning. They need to shore that up. That's been a huge difference to their success in the postseason. How about that? 114-5 in first innings for the Sooners. Coleman was 1 for 4, scored a run in the first inning last night in game 1. And she'll start things off with a base hit and a runner aboard for Jocelyn Allo. Allo has reached base in her last 9 plate appearances over the last 2 games. And the question again, how do you pitch to her, if at all?
Got to expand. You got to make her chase. I mean, Smitty talked about this earlier in our segment about really trying to pitch around these hitters to get them to swing at pitches that they can't drive. And if you happen to walk them in the process, that's just fine.
Yeah, you have to mix speeds. You have to be outside the zone and let them almost make the decisions. If Jocelyn Allo is going to walk, she makes that decision, or she chases something out of the zone.
She is hitting .733 at the Women's College World Series. The record is .750. Leah O'Brien at Arizona in 1994. So she has a chance to topple another record that has stood for 3 decades.
Well, already different than yesterday. They threw her inside immediately yesterday. Today, off speed and backdoor curveball on the outer half.
0-2 pitch. Ball. Rise at the eyes. Estelle threw 1 inning against Oklahoma in their regular season series. She's 3-0 in this NCAA tournament. Was money for Texas in their semifinal doubleheader sweep of Oklahoma State to get here. Their first ever appearance in the championship series. And the first unseeded team to get this far. As you can see watching Czech, she is an admitted self-talker. Tries to fire herself up and stay focused. And now the count goes full, 3-2. The numbers in the last couple of games: solo home run, 2-run shot, 3-run shot, grand slam. The cycle of home runs over the last 48 hours. And a called strike 3. Allo finally retired, 1 down.
Backdoor curveball. Watch it off the plate, come back over the plate. A rare freeze for Jocelyn Allo. Watch her give up on it right now. Say, no, that's a ball, but it does come back over the plate. Strikeout looking for Estelle Czech.
Only her 19th of the season, a remarkable number for a power hitter, and a big get for Estelle Czech. And now she'll face Tiare Jennings, who has homered in 4 of her 5 games here at the World Series.
Ball.
Two-time All-American from Southern California, has already, with her play here in the tournament, established herself, with Jocelyn Allo graduating as the likely front-runner for National Player of the Year next season. Jammed her with the 2-0. .556 with the 5 home runs. That ties with Allo for the most in a World Series. And the 14 RBI, she's 1 ahead of Jossie in that department, the current record holder.
And the defense, you can see where Janae Jefferson, look at her, second base, way up the middle, and then they're over in that 5-6 hole. They're throwing
Ball.
more on that off speed on the outside corner, but that curveball underneath the hands to Tiare Jennings. A little different pitch makeup than what they just pitched to Jocelyn Allo.
It's been pitched by committee for Texas. In fact, they used 4 pitchers yesterday, and Mike White, when he talked to Holly Rose, specifically said, we're going to keep Estelle in the dugout. We don't want them to see her until tonight. And hoping that from the left side, she can shake things up a little bit.
So far, that backdoor curve has been money for her. She worked the curve underneath the hands of the righties, but then she works that outside corner of the plate, bending that pitch back in.
Another full count. Jennings grounds it to Jefferson, hopped up on her, and they can't make the play. And just like last night, a shaky start for the Texas defense. E4 has 2 aboard.
That's the backdoor curve. Pretty easy ground ball, but it jumps up a bit on Janae, and then the panic. You can tell immediately she almost throws this one away, and that's actually almost the bigger mistake instead of holding on to it. But this has been Texas throughout the regular season, led the Big 12 in errors, but when they got into the postseason, they were a much better defensive team, which is why they're in this World Series final. But we've seen the errors come to life the last 2 games.
RBI opportunity for Grace Lyons. Grace 1 for 5, drove in a run last night. On the season, the senior from Peoria, Arizona, 22 home runs, 67 runs batted in. She is the last of 4 consecutive All-Americans at the top of their lineup. First teamers.
Usually you're happy if you have one of those on a program.
Grace is also one of 6 different Sooners that have homered in their 5 games here.
How about Estelle Check, though? I mean, she's been 0-2, 1-2 to almost every hitter in this lineup, just attacking these Sooners after they put up 16 runs yesterday. Been fearless.
Spent last year at North Carolina State and then transferred to Texas. Oh-2 pops her up left side. Washington calling for it, 2 down.
Estelle Check coming into this game expands the zone, especially with the rise and the curve. You're going to see her go upstairs, something that can really work for her against this Sooners team. And then the curveball away to lefties, in to righties, and we can see it both sides of the plate. That's what we've seen early on. A nice job early in this game, Check against the top order of this lineup.
There you see words of encouragement to herself. She was telling us the other day she used to be a grunter. And then they decided, well, let's see what happens if you don't grunt. If you're not overthrowing. And she said it actually helped her spins, Michelle.
Yeah, she's not throwing ball through her pitches, and so it's more about spin speed instead of pitch speed. And that was late. That was right around the Washington regionals. It's funny what you find out late in the season. You're like, oh, this might help me.
Let's tinker with this a little bit.
When Dulcini found her changeup.
Yeah.
And Estelle Check changing the way that she throws. And then an effort on each pitch.
And probably not coincidentally, it's when they went on their run of knocking off favorites on their way to the championship series. First batter she will face is the All-American Janae Jefferson, looking for a breakout at bat. Spectacular in the regionals and the supers, a key cog in their lineup. She's been quiet here in Oklahoma City and did not get on base in game 1 last night to instigate this offense.
This is a 400 hitter hitting a .190 here at the Women's College World Series. It just takes one game, one moment. This Longhorn team needs it now.
Right back up the middle, and there it is for Janae. Now, can the Horns capitalize? They got a first inning run last night, but left the bases loaded and missed a chance to bust it open early. Big weight off Janae, and that'll bring up Mia Scott, also 0 in game 1, but has a hit in the other 5 games here at the World Series for Texas.
Watch her use short game here. Goes to the drag bunt a lot.
Remember, the all Big 12 freshman team this year had a 4-hit game, a school record, in their upset win over UCLA earlier in the tournament, and she goes opposite, and a couple aboard early for the Longhorns.
Jordy Lerner usually lives in that high 60-mile-per-hour zone. This drop ball that's elevated is in the mid-60s, and it's just allowing, so far, Jefferson and Scott to barrel up the ball. Pitch a little bit sweet. And without that rise ball, it's a completely different look. They don't have to worry about chasing pitches out of the zone. They can worry about hitting that ball, right, Jess? It's moving nowhere but down, not up.
Especially for these lefties.
Bella Dayton, a couple of extra base hits last night. She was the lone bright spot at the plate. Soft sophomore out of Wiley, Texas.
Smitty, that's a huge deal. I mean, Jordy Ball not having a rise ball. If we do not see that pitch, I mean, she can throw a high drop, but if I'm a left-handed batter, give me the high drop all day long versus the one that keeps going up.
Why is that, Jess? You know at some point it's going to come back down to you?
Yeah, it's going to come back into the strike zone, but the toughest pitch for a left-handed batter to hit is that rise ball away, and that's why Jordy Ball has had success against lefties. That's why Hope Troutwine had success against these very lefties yesterday.
Ball. One is up and out, 2-1.
Yeah, and even that high pitch that's elevated in the zone, it does not have rise spin on it. It is over the top spin, which is more associated with a down ball.
There was not a hit with a runner in scoring position in game one for Texas. They can quickly change that. Throw down to third, the runners will stay. Well, I thought it was great what Mike White told Holly Rowe pregame when he got off the bus. How do you get your players ready to go today and forget about yesterday? He said, well, the good thing is none of those 16 runs carry over. So we like to see 0-0 on the scoreboard.
Well, he even interrupted the press conference when all the players were like, we're just forgetting about it. We're not even going to think about it. And he's like, well, let's learn from it, and then we can forget about it.
Yeah. You know, Jess, we've been there before. At times we say, hey, they used them all up yesterday.
Oklahoma upset on this one because they thought there was an attempt of the bunt that was made. Said it was called ball 4, but watch her square around twice and go that second time. I think she did go.
Well, we're about to see if there was a lesson learned from last night. Remember, in this exact situation yesterday, with a pitcher struggling to find the strike zone, the Texas batter, J.J. Smith, swung at the first pitch and helped Oklahoma get out of the jam. This time around, it's the 4-hitter, Alyssa Washington. Bases loaded, nobody out. And in for a strike from Jordy Ball.
And that's the pitch she's going to have to use with not having that rise ball or a pitch that's exiting the zone, is that off speed. That's an off speed drop. She blends that very well with her hard stuff down in the zone.
Couple of singles, a walk to load them up. Terrific speed on the bases with Jefferson, Scott, and Dayton. And Jordy responds by getting up 0-2. Infield is not drawn in at second and short. Washington lifts one back to right. Boone goes back onto the track, makes the catch, but that'll be deep enough. And a sacrifice fly gets Texas the lead. And immediately a change for the Longhorns tonight.
Riley Boone was playing so far in because of the bases loaded, had to go a long way. Makes a great grab, actually, to get this one at the warning track. And remember the sun, all the elements, but definitely deep enough. I thought they might even score 2 on this because she was running so far back, but they definitely get 1.
And Ball very, very lucky on that, because that's an 0-2 pitch, too close to the zone in that situation. And yeah, a sun ball, a ball deep to right field.
Ball. This is Mary Iacopo. Couple in scoring position, and congratulations to Janae Jefferson, already their hits leader, now their career runs scored leader. It is her 12th record at the plate in her illustrious Texas career.
Greatest hitter that Texas softball has ever seen.
That was a hasty change.
That's the one that she layers. She blends that so well with her hard drop down at the knees. It's the same pitch, the same location. It's just about 8 miles an hour slower.
Ball. This is inside to Iacopo. If you don't think Jordy was amped up about this first World Series start, the eye black she's got on her face, she had that 2 days ago at Media Day. She had her game face on with the camo headband. Iacopo just outside the bag at third. Mary is their leader, vocal and otherwise. And most important right now, their best run producer, with Scott and Dayton aboard. And with a bit of a long inning here after they had to fix part of the pitcher circle, Estelle Check will stay loose, head out to the bullpen. First she wants to see what Mary does. 2-2 pitch, center field, Coleman going back. This should be plenty deep. At the wall, makes the catch. But another sacrifice fly to score a run. That one almost got out.
These outfielders making terrific plays because Jordy Ball right now is getting hit hard. Coleman finding the wall, the timing of this. We're talking like 1.5 feet from leaving the yard, putting Texas up more than just another run. But Jada Coleman making a great grab still. The Longhorns, the Iacopo sac fly, now up 2-0.
Texas number 15,
And immediately Texas already responding. 9 lobs yesterday. So not collecting hits, but doing enough damage to punch runs across the plate.
Ball.
Cole May, who came in yesterday's game already warming up in the bullpen, because there has to be concern early in this game. Jordy Ball, I understand the nerves, but there hasn't been a whole lot of swing and miss, a lot of hard contact.
Courtney Day sends him back to the track again, to the wall, and it's robbed. Jada Coleman brings the home run ball back in.
This is as good as it's gonna get for an outfielder. Jada Coleman getting back, finding the wall, the timing, get up and rob yourself a home run. She's about 3 feet over the wall. The athleticism keeping her team in this game. Let's go.
You in the outfield. I've been holding it down at second base on the infield. Get over the stereotype that kids like me have to be in the outfield and fight for what you want.
Backing up is Washington on the grass. Got on her heels, and Kinsey Hansen is safe at first.
Well, that's a ball you have to go get. You back up on that, and I know that Oklahoma hits the ball very, very hard, but this is a ball that you have to be aggressive. You need to go get that. You can't play it on that short hop coming back. You need to go get that high hop to have the opportunity to make the play on this.
And a follow-up, too, with what Holly was talking about. There is always room for improvement, and for more softball in African-American communities, so that responsibility doesn't seem to be so heavy on the weight of certain people's shoulders, but players like Janae and the influence she's had on her own teammates, like Alyssa Washington, their shortstop, has been huge. Mia Scott arriving because she wanted to play with Janae as well. They've got the 2-0 lead over Oklahoma. It is a must-win game 2 to force a winner-take-all game 3 tomorrow night. Taylon Snow, one of 6 Sooners to hit a home run yesterday in a 16-win pounding. Official score did rule that a hit for Hanson. One, two from a stare check. Fights off the inside pitch. Record-breaking crowds throughout this Women's College World Series. Since they added the upper deck a few years ago, over 12,000 plus. Record numbers last night, working on that again tonight on an unseasonably pleasant evening in Oklahoma City. The humidity has stayed away today. And a strikeout of Snow. 1 down, that's the second for Check.
Check's been effective working the curveball along with this off-speed pitch, so she'll go backdoor curveball underneath the lefty's hands, and then she throws this flip change on the outside corner of the plate, hard to identify. And it looks like there might have been a little mix-up between Mary Iacopo. She's almost starting to stand up on that changeup. Able to get the swing and miss, second strikeout.
Fouled off by Jana Johns in the 8th spot in the batting order. This is a rarity for Oklahoma and Patty Gasso. Just the 12th time trailing this season, only the 5th time by multiple runs. It happened to him the other day in the first semifinal game, or excuse me, in the first game against UCLA in the semis that they ended up losing. Their only loss in the postseason.
That backdoor curveball. It's been dirty. And we've talked about the off speed. A lot of times when you think curveball, you think inside or that glove side. She's throwing it really well away to these righties.
Check, telling herself, come on, come on, come on. Johns, a rocket, back it goes to the base of the wall out in left center. Sliding in with a double is Jana Johns in the bottom of the order, making noise. The tying run now in scoring position for Riley Boone.
Well, this is an elevated pitch that Jana Johns just goes up and gets. This is a rise ball at the top of the zone, and she just barrels that up. Great posture, great position on an elevated pitch, drives that into the gap. Sooners with runners in scoring position now, 2nd and 3rd with just 1 out. And that's an 0-2 miss as well. Look at those pitches when you're ahead. So important to try to waste out of the zone, get it even higher.
Holly, what you got?
Well, Estelle Check actually talked to us about her curveball. It's her favorite pitch, and she said it's got a natural drop away for or into lefties, but she said if I work up in the zone, waist high or higher, that's where I get in trouble. She knows exactly what she's got to do to keep that pitch down in the zone. That's where they got a nice hit on it there. She's got to keep it low.
Well, or Holly, is at an 0-2 pitch. It needs to be a waist. It needs to be even higher, unhittable. Change the eye level up to go back down low.
Boone, they've got the runner bottled up, and the tag applied. J.J. Smith, perfect execution, run directly at the base runner, and they get the 2nd out.
That's how aggressive she is, too. If she ignores Riley Boone, says, forget this. As soon as Kinsey Hansen gets herself in that situation, she doesn't try to throw, she attacks. Going right after Kinsey, a hard tag to make sure you get her.
Well, she almost got the double play there with a tag of Riley Boone.
And Riley was smart. Kind of jumped out of her way as well. Said, you're going to have to come get me.
Runners on the corners here. 2 outs for Jada Coleman, back to the top of the order. And they will get out of this without having to face Allo, who is left in the on-deck circle. And hope stays alive for the Longhorns to win their first championship ring. J.J. Smith to face Jordy Ball. First pitch swinging. Jennings tried to backhand it. Couldn't haul that one in, and Smith aboard. Base hit for JJ. Hey, if necessary, we will be back here tomorrow. Winner take all, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. We were here last year for a Game 3. Oklahoma a winner over Florida State. 6 times in 16 years we have played a 3-game series. Started with the very first one in 2005, Michigan. Sam Finley, the 3-run home run in the 10th inning as the Wolverines beat UCLA in Game 3. Ago, the anniversary of Caleb Rowe and Alabama dancing in the rain in a Game 3. That tied team, one of 2 that has beaten Oklahoma in back-to-back games in the championship series. UCLA also did it in 2019. As Texas tries to do that tonight and tomorrow. Mike White, 4th season at Texas after tremendous success at Oregon. This is his first time, the longtime head coach in the Champ Series. Texas Athletic Department, by the way, doing all right so far this school calendar year. Full count. Three hits already for Texas. A couple of sac flies getting them the early lead. Ball 4. And Walker sent it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, what a good punch back from Texas tonight. The Longhorns trying to survive here at the World Series. And what a great season they're having this spring. 5 possible national championships this spring alone. It started with men's indoor track and field. Women's tennis also winning the national championship in the last month. How about rowing taking that celebratory dip? And men's golf also getting to light up the tower in Austin. Chris Del Conte, the athletic director, and all of the Texas athletes, what an incredible run they are having. 4 national championships, and the softball team trying to play for number 5 tonight.
Yeah, Holly, it's been a remarkable run for Texas, unseeded, upsetting 4 seeded opponents and beating 4 All-American pitchers to shock the softball world and be here toe-to-toe with Oklahoma tonight. Katie Simmons in the 9 spot with a runner in scoring position.
And this is when Texas has played their best, when their backup is up against the wall and kind of embracing that unseeded, not supposed to win, no expectation.
In Austin, they're calling them the heart attack horns. They have 17 come from behind wins, 1 in the regional, again in the Super, and 1 here at the World Series in the national semifinals. Did not check the swing.
Oh, yeah. That's a triple.
Close.
She makes contact.
Katie, freshman out of Humboldt, Texas, just 1 for 12 so far here at the World Series.
Got the best hitter on this team on deck. The idea is to have, if anything, a productive out. Get runners at second and third for Janae Jefferson.
5 of the first 8 have reached base for Texas tonight.
Well, they're definitely not fooled by Jordy Ball's down pitch.
So there's out to Coleman. That won't be deep enough to move the runners. 1 down.
And that's actually an off-speed pitch on a 1-2 count. That's a slight miss. That's elevated. She's lucky it did not get hit harder. And I think that we're seeing that Jordy has not really had a lot of time in the circle over the last month, so she's not quite as sharp as what we're used to seeing her.
Singleton scored in the first. Janae Jefferson coming up for the second time. And grounds it to Jennings over to Lyons for 1. First base. Diving in safe is Janae. To prevent the double play. Corona, the pinch runner, over to third with 2 outs.
Well, this ball hit hard right at Jennings. Probably the best middles in the game, Jennings to Lyons, and this is how you know that Janae Jefferson knows that she has to get down the line quickly. She's sliding into first. A lot of
Camille Corona, 60 feet away. And Scott gloved at first by Taylor Snow. Defense holds up for the Sooners, a couple left on, through 2. Championship series, the come from behind win over Florida State. And she hit a couple of home runs, as did her buddy Tiare Jennings in game 1 of the Champ Series last night.
Number 78, Jocelyn Allen.
I think with the postseason that she's put together again this year, in the regular season, record-breaking, the greatest slugger that softball has ever seen.
You gotta avoid letting her get extended. This is just yesterday. Look at the 3 pitches. She hit 2 home runs and a double against Texas. Look at the location, both middle away. You have to be able to stay away from her getting extended, whether you come way inside, you go way up, or you go off speed.
Stelchek struck her out looking in the first. First time that Allo was held off the bases in her last 10 plate appearances. They are 2 for 2, getting their leadoff on base tonight. I see what you did there.
Fourth down.
Pacino would be proud.
He might be a little young, though, for...
I hope he hasn't seen that movie yet. Yeah, she's so proud of her Polynesian heritage and a bond, really, that she was able to strike with Tiare Jennings from a very early age, playing together in the Batbusters organization. Actually, Jocelyn, a bit of a mentor for Tiare, and walks on 4 pitches. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate. Three straight innings with the leadoff aboard. Jennings reached on an error her first time out. 486 in this NCAA tournament with 7 home runs. First pitch swinging, Scott to Jefferson, over to first base and Smith. Double play, it's the 11th of the NCAA tournament for Texas. Texas.
And Beth, it's their 28th double play of the year. This is a team that's been plagued by errors, 78 errors on the season. But when it comes to a double play, they can turn it. Scott to Jefferson to J.J. Smith at first. This is a huge get. Really good aggressive turn by Janae Jefferson, one of the best in the business. And obviously, Estelle Check loving that defense behind her. 28th double play of the year.
2 outs for Grace Lyons. And there is, dare I say, a bit of a burnt orange buzz going on right now here at Hall of Fame Stadium. Must win tonight for Texas to force game 3 tomorrow. Popped up left side, Washington. Get things started. 3, 4, and 5 coming up.
Watch out.
Due up next, Alyssa Washington and Mary Iacopo. Their sacrifice flies back in the first inning, responsible for the 2-0 lead.
Ball.
Dayton walked back in the first. 6 base runners through the first 10 batters so far tonight for Texas. We also know that no lead is safe against an Oklahoma team that averages over 9 runs per game and just put 16 up on you last night.
When you look at the run differential, 569 runs on the season to just 60 given up coming into today. So 62 runs now given up. But yeah, it's crazy. Over 500 runs more scored.
Jana Johns checks her wristband as well. All the defenders have the wristband, not just the pitcher and catcher, so they can adjust defensively.
Ball.
They have done such a remarkable job of just wiping the slate clean after a tough loss and facing elimination. Now for the 7th time in the postseason, Dayton walks for the 2nd time. Hey, the championship series here at the Women's College World Series continues tomorrow. The if necessary game. If Texas wins this, we're back here at 8:30 to decide the title. For more information, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Alyssa Washington. First pitch swinging, that's outside the bag, foul. And showing an ability to come through in big moments. And often for Alyssa, it's with her dad in mind. Lost her father Osiris last summer. A huge influence in her life and her softball career. Wasn't even sure that she would play this season. And here she is, a huge part of their success. Holly?
Well, that's right. He passed away in August, and she was so devastated. She would go through practices and couldn't get through them because she was crying. And finally, she just decided that she had to play for his memory. He was always by her side. She wears a beautiful bracelet around her wrist in honor of organ donation. And she said he was such a good man that even in his death, he was helping others. And her teammates have rallied around her to make sure she feels loved and supported. She tweeted out recently, "I know my dad would be proud of how I've been playing at the World Series. Daddy, this is for you."
Well, doesn't get the call she wanted there, and the strikeout for Jordy Ball, 1 down. That is the first strikeout for Jordy.
Now batting pitcher number 33.
Was on that changeup coming in at 57 miles an hour, still a little bit elevated. It's a little bit more deceptive when it's a little lower in the zone at about 54, 55 miles an hour.
Well, you have to admire the spirit, knowing she's probably not at 100% with the forearm injury, but there was no way she was not going to come back in time to help her team in the postseason. And making the adjustments necessary, even if it means losing a pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. She knows that, you know, she's got to throw a different game and not afraid to. A lot of pitchers don't like to go out there unless they're 100%. She obviously is still battling that injury, doesn't have all of her tools, but a mindset of still attack.
Yeah, healthy Jordy Ball striking out almost 40% of the batters that she faces. It's been 19% here at the World Series, just that first strikeout. The swing and miss isn't there, and yet she is incredibly determined. See that look, the stock, everything that she does. I mean, she is not backing down one bit.
Oh-2 to Ayacopo. Lions to second for one. Over to first. Double play, Oklahoma. Off the backhand of the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, Grace Lyons.
Grace Lyons just getting to this ball. Watch her cut down to the knee. Get it over Tiari Jennings. The 6-4-3, and Jordy Ball loves it.
The realm of any Sooner defense, they have gotten the job done.
We are headed to the top of the fourth. 2-0 Texas over Oklahoma. If the Sooners win, national championship. If Texas wins, back here tomorrow night for game 3. 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order. Here's Alyssa Brito. Popped to short her first time up. It was a 7-pitch third inning for Estelle Check, the lefty, keeping OU at bay. Brito with Simmons in foul territory, can't quite get there. The Sooners championship series offense, 6 home runs and 16 runs last night. Not quite there yet here in game 2.
Sooners have had the leadoff on every inning. First and second with singles. Third inning with a leadoff walk.
The 2 big guns, Jocelyn Allo, Tiare Jennings, have each reached once on a walk and an error, but no hits for those 2 yet. A strikeout of Allo, and Jennings hit into a double play after they each hit a pair of home runs off of Texas pitchers last night.
It's kind of what we alluded to. I think you have to pitch around the zone to them if they choose to swing at it and pop up, or do they choose to not swing and potentially walk? I think
Brito goes the opposite way. Right center, she'll try for 2, and she's in there. Extra bases for Alyssa, and again, the tying run will come to the plate.
Two-strike hitting. I mean, this is where the Sooners are so good. It's that backdoor curveball again, but now Brito's ready for it. Remember, she almost popped out foul on this same pitch. Instead, she makes the adjustment, gets on top, and now it's a line drive double into right center field.
Yeah, and I think, Jess, this is exactly what Texas needs to do. They need to try to keep Allo and Jennings off, and make other hitters in this lineup step up and beat you. But maybe be a little bit wider on a 1-2 pitch.
Here's the number 6 hitter, Kinsey Hansen. Singled in the second on a hard grounder to short.
Watch out.
All 4 innings, the leadoff on base for Oklahoma.
Ball 10.
Sooners 58-3 on the season. They have been #1 since day one. The only losses, Texas, Oklahoma State, and in the national semifinals, a loss to UCLA before bouncing back to win and get into the Champ Series. Hansen to Scott, checks the runner. Mishandled at first. Bounces past Smith. And Oklahoma diving in safe at the plate is Brito, and they are on the board. Another Texas miscue opens the door, and Hansen gets all the way to third.
And again, it's been that defense, it's been an issue. That's the 18th error of the year on Mia Scott. This is a routine play, and this is what Coach White talked about. We need to make the ordinary. That ball hops to J.J. Smith. And of course, Brito's going to come all the way around, never stopping. Patty Gasso making sure she's waving her around, trusting her coach, dives to the back of the plate. Nice tag by Mary Iacopo, but just not in time.
Double by Brito, and she comes in to score on the error charge to Mia Scott. And now the tying run is at third. Go-ahead comes to the plate. It's Taylon Snow, struck out on a changeup in the second. First pitch swinging, tie game.
Swinging from Oklahoma. Taylon Snow, after striking out first pitch, she comes out. She's looking low away. She's trying to be a little bit later because it was the changeup, the off speed. She struck out a beautiful look right up the middle. Check coming in, ball going out. This game's all tied up.
Home run last night, the RBI single tonight for Snow. And now she's the go-ahead at first base. Still nobody out for Janet Johns.
And you can tell Estelle Check getting a little rattled. That was supposed to be a curveball on the outside corner. You can see the way that Mary Iacopo starts to set up on the outside. That ball goes right down the middle. And that's where she has to get those locations back, because when she was spot on the corners and using that off speed, she was really good. Look at where Mary set up. It's supposed to be outside, so that's a curveball that should enter and exit the plate very quickly, and instead it's just living right over the middle of the white and gets peppered right back up the middle.
Jana doubled in the second. 1-1.
That's the hard part for a pitcher, right? A couple of defensive errors behind you. It's hard not to get rattled, and you know, you start thinking and spinning, and you just got to go back to those locates.
Well, it's hard enough to get any Sooner batter out, so you're getting mishits, and then the outs aren't coming from them. You know that the hits are going to come. That's just absolutely certainty, but you can't give free passes. Estelle Check working her tail off to get through 1 through 9 in this lineup.
And second time through the lineup, like Patty Gasso talked about, adjustments, and you know, it's hard enough to get them out when they're given their 3 regular outs. You give them 4 and 5, and it's just tough. And back to your point too, Jess, Katie Simmons down that right field line. That ball probably could have been caught. She floated to it. It goes off of her glove. She doesn't catch it, and then you have Brito come back and have that double. It's all those little things. You want to win a national championship, you got to make that catch. You want to win a national championship, you got to make sure that curve is not through the middle of the plate.
Two runs for Texas in the first, 2 for Oklahoma here in the fourth. Taking advantage of the error. Washington over to Jefferson. To first base, Smith got another double play. Second of the night for Texas, 2 down.
And this is all about positioning. This is a Texas team that at times they struggle with the ordinary, and you give them the extraordinary, and they have been stellar. Their 12th double play of this postseason hit hard right at Washington, to Jefferson, to Smith. Look at how clean this is from Washington, no step. Jefferson, back of the bag, step backs, and just jams the ball, snaps it down over to JJ, and of course, Check, loving the defensive plays behind her when they're getting those outs.
What a roller coaster ride for Texas defensively. We talked about the errors, but that is the 7th double play of this World Series that ties the record. Here's Riley Boone in the 9 spot in the lineup. Washington back on the grass, got it. Couple of runs across, we are all even in game 2. The Jordy Ball in the circle.
Ball.
To face Day, Smith, and Burke. Day, back in the first inning, robbed of a 2-run home run by Jada Coleman out in center.
Courtney Day's had 3 home runs already here at the Women's College World Series, swinging a hot, powerful bat. Jada Coleman said, nope, not getting a 4th one. Went back, timed this one, brought it back in. This one scored 2 more and made it a 4-0 game. Said it ended the inning.
Our Sunday night baseball matchup coming your way over the weekend. It's the Mets and the Angels on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Ooh, Mets are going up, Angels are going down right now.
Angels tried to switch up their losing streak and just played different walk-up songs for everyone, all Nickelback.
All Nickelback.
But didn't tell the players. So pitchers were coming out and going, oh, this wasn't my song. It didn't work, they lost anyway.
Look at this photograph.
Oh, best singing. Yeah.
Good Canadian rockers. The freshman Jordy Ball settling in after the 2 Texas runs in the first.
Ball.
Jordan trying to join a select list. It's 7 different freshmen over the 40-year history of this tournament that have won the championship final or the last game of the championship series. Twice in the Champ Series era, Delaney Gorley at Florida, Dallas Escobedo with Arizona State. All the others, UCLA Bruins, Amanda Freed, Heather Compton, Tiffany Boyd, Lisa Longacre, and Debbie Doom back in 1982.
It's another Debbie Doom reference. Can't say her name enough.
Pretty good to step right in there and in your first season lead your team to the championship. 2-2 today.
I like the way that Day is getting that front foot down, really timing that pitch off of Jordy Ball. Cleaned up her mechanics, power.
Wider in her stance.
Yeah. You can see the way she'll time, she'll step, put that front foot down early.
Day. Brito has a beat on it. 1 down. We just heard Mike White talking with Holly Rowe. And it was the new Mike White that he has talked about, the chill Mike White. trying to put off a positive aura, which hasn't always been the case. You know, he admitted, was real open our conversation this week. You know, when he came here with Oregon, often one of the favorites, there was a lot of stress. They felt the pressure, and his team has followed his lead, playing much looser this time around, but J.J. Smith caught trying to take the extra base. Outfield assist, Jada Coleman. 2 down.
Can we give an MVP for defense? Like, I know it's all about the pitching and the swing and miss and the home runs, but come on, let's be real. Jada Coleman is putting on a show tonight, robbed a home run, had a great takeaway of a double, and now this one, the assist, hosing out J.J. Smith, thinking about 2. Jada Coleman showing off the guns.
She's putting a clinic on how do you play center field? How do you make throws, relays, bring home runs back in, and of course her pitcher, Jody Ball, loving it. Energy back, energy forth, back and forth between them.
Good aggressive, over-aggressive there by the base runner, J.J. Smith.
Yeah. Well, that play's happening in
game.
front of you. Yeah. Exactly. You see that, and you can see how quickly she gets in the throw. You definitely have time to put the brakes on and turn back around.
2 down. There's Lauren Burke,
Watch out.
who came from Oregon with Coach White. Let's check out the arm.
Oh, it's how quick she gets to this, too, off the wall immediately, off her back foot, too, 1 hop, right into Grace Lyons. I got you. I got you. And that, you know what? Jordan Ball's getting hit hard. I mean, we've seen now 6 hard hit balls. 4 of them, though, have been caught or thrown out.
Yeah, and Jess, what you look at and you see the way she approached that ball, she was set up to throw, right? She fielded that ball bouncing off of the wall, and she did not have to move. Her feet were already in perfect position, so she could rifle that ball in to Grace Lyons at second, and that's just knowing where you're throwing the ball and being ready to get rid of it as quick as possible.
That defensive play by Coleman took the air right out of it for Texas, and Ball ends it with the strikeout in a 2-2 game. Neither one of them was with this team last year. Ball, the freshman, checked the transfer. And now she's got to stare down the top of the order for the Sooners. Coleman, Allo, and Jennings. Coleman singled in the first, popped up to short in the second. Check was able to work out of a jam.
How about this crowd right here?
Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Jada Coleman told us that she is much more mature this year. When she would get overexcited, she wouldn't execute. And her coach, Patty Gasso, said, I would never try to take the energy and excitement out of a player. I want her to be her. But she has matured of how and when that emotion and energy comes out, and you're seeing that tonight. Energy, execution.
And not forgetting her cleats at the hotel room.
Or the wrong color cleats.
The wrong color cleats.
White cleats, red cleats.
Part of that growing up process, maturity, and I love that Patty Gasso said, too, she'd never want to take that emotion and that energy, because that is Jada Coleman. It's what fuels her, and honestly, it's what fuels this lineup. She's at the top of it. She's been their fire starter.
Can she do it here? They have not led tonight. Trailed 2-0 in the first inning. Scored a pair in the fourth.
And the thing with Coleman, too, she doesn't have, you take a look at Jocelyn Allo waiting on deck. Tiari Jennings right after her doesn't get any easier. But Jada Coleman's going to see a lot of strikes, but she doesn't have the power numbers you see from the rest of this team. What she does is she gets a ton of hits with pretty much any pitch. She'll even get her body out of position, but her back-to-ball skills are so good.
Turn.
That's a .590 on-base percentage. She knows how to walk. She knows how to get on base.
Chops that one out to left center, and coming out to make the catch. one down.
This has kind of just been a center field show. We've seen it from Oklahoma and Jada Coleman, and now Belle Dayton giving her a taste of Jada's own medicine, coming in hard, pulling it the entire way, comes down to the slide to make sure that she's got it. Estelle Jack, yes.
And here comes Jocelyn Allo, number 1 all-time home runs, number 2 all-time runs batted in. And will become the first player in history this season to bat 500 and hit 30 home runs. Struck out in the first, walked in the third. Five home runs this World Series, including 2 last night in Game 1. Her home run total now up to 122. The old record was 95. Former Sooner Lauren Chamberlain. Gets a hold of one. Straight away center. Back to the base of the wall, and it's caught by Dayton. 2 down. Estelle Jack continues to keep it in the yard.
Oh, amazing sequencing, too, of pitches to get to the changeup off the end of the bat. And by the way, this isn't off the end of the bat for Jocelyn Allo. How about 220? Probably the last 2 inches of the bat she hit that off of, a little bit out front. The power's still showing up, even on a miss hit.
Kiara James. Huge out right here for Texas. Leaves open the possibility that you would not see Allo and Jennings again tonight.
Ball.
Everybody clap your hands.
Ryan Coco wants to make sure no mistakes here. Pitch count is fine. Jennings reached on an error in the first, hit into a double play in the third. So 5 plate appearances, no hits for Allo and Jennings.
And that's where Estelle Jack has been very exact on those edges to both Allo and Jennings. That backdoor curveball on the outside corner, she's been really good with that, starting that in the river and really coming into the back door of the strike zone.
These two were on base 9 times yesterday and scored 8 times.
Had, what, 4 of the 6 home runs?
Oh, you got to be totally okay if she takes ball 4 right now. I mean, make her chase something, but what you can't do is come over that white part of the plate. 3-1 count.
Jennings back up the middle, base hit. Her first of the night, the 2-out base runner, and that puts the go-ahead on for Oklahoma with Grace Lyons, the number 4 hitter, coming up. You just want to keep passing that bat. This is the 3rd time up here for the heart of the order. You see the average increases every look they get at the pitcher.
Well, the slug, and that's the OPS, that on base combined with the slug. That's quite a jump as well.
Lyons 0 for 2, a couple of pop-ups to short.
There's no time to take a deep breath. You get through Allo and Jennings, even if they haven't left the yard, because Grace Lyons, the three of those hitters together, have over 50% of the home runs.
Well, that hits her, so 2 on. That will push Jennings over to second.
Curveball in the inside corner just starts that a little bit too far in.
4th inning tonight that Oklahoma has had at least a couple on base. Let's check in with Holly. As Oklahoma hunts for its first lead of the game. Comes into the strike.
Ball.
The Jennings single and the Lions hit by pitch, by the way, does buy another at-bat for Allo in the 7th inning. At a bare minimum, one more time. Brito ripped down the line, fair ball, that's extra bases, and that will give Oklahoma the lead. Jennings comes in to score, 3-2 Sooners. You can tell that
Check is getting a little bit tired. This pitch left over the inside part of the plate. That's supposed to be a curveball, a little bit more inside, and it's just left over the white, and Brito just does a good job of driving that right down the line. Taylor Jennings, with all that speed, easily going to score from second. A huge RBI double for Brito to put the Sooners on top. Second double of the game.
From 2 runs down to a 3-2 lead, and 2 more in scoring position for Kinsey Hansen. Singled and reached on an error, and Haley Dolcini out to the bullpen.
Go.
Let's send it down to Holly.
Well, guys, I did talk to Mike White before the game. He said Haley Dolcini is totally available. He wants her to locate pitches better, but she is available to come into this game, and he's just sent her out to the bullpen.
Yeah, she got the start in game 1, did not last long. Pulled in the 1st inning after giving up 5 runs, but she has been stout otherwise in this postseason. Kinsey Hansen. Junior from Norco, California. Fabulous World Series last year. Has been battling through injuries much of this season, platooning with Lindsey Elam at that catcher spot. Lions at third, Brito at second.
And this is where the Sooners just show how strong they are. You get the first 2 outs of the inning, you get Coleman and Allo to fly out to center. You think you're doing good, and then it's a Jennings base hit, a hit batter, and then boom, a double. It just happens so quickly. The Sooner team can pour it on. And as you mentioned, Jess, it's that second and third time through the lineup, just so many adjustments. This is all adjustments. Hansen on a 2-1 count knows what she's hunting. And the Sooners just continue to know how to boom. They are just so smart at the plate. This is a curveball that's a little more up in the zone, but again, an account that you've got to make this pitch a little bit more on the hands, a little bit more inside. And Kenzie Hansen, who has struggled this year, lifts this ball out of the yard. A huge 3-run shot, and Patty Gasso loving it.
7th different Sooner to hit a home run at the World Series, and for Kenzie Hansen, her first home run since Texas back in April.
Just her 8th of the year. I mean, she was in double digits last year. So that is a huge, almost a sigh of relief from her.
A 2-run 4th, followed by a 4-run 5th. Base hit, Taylor Snow. And the hit parade continues. Fourth hit of the inning, and that's 5 straight to reach base now for Oklahoma after 2 outs to start the inning.
How quickly it happens. I mean, Smitty, you said it, 2 outs. You think you were getting out of the inning, you got through the best hitter in the country in Jocelyn Allo. And then it just starts with a little hit by pitch, and next thing you know, it's the 4 spot in 5th.
New Texas pitcher is Haley Dolcini, the senior out of Ferndale, California, and she'll go from the right side. Check is out, the left-hander. 869 pitches in 11 appearances in the NCAA tournament for Dolcini. With 2 outs, it's Jana Johns and a runner at first base. 4-run 5th inning for Oklahoma to break the tie. 4.2 for Check, the 9 hits. Only 4 of the 6 were earned. The latest blow, the 3-run home run from Kenzie Hansen. And there's Jefferson with the play at second. Side lifted here in the 5th for sophomore Nicole May. Her 3rd appearance in the World Series. She started against UCLA in the semis and took the loss. Only lasted a couple of innings and gave up 2 home runs to the Bruins. And an interesting move here for Patty Gasso to make the change. Jordan Whitaker is the pinch hitter in the 9 spot.
Yeah, I really thought when Oklahoma got the lead, they would go to Troutwine, to Hope Troutwine, to protect that lead. And now, again, Troutwine's more up in the zone with the rise ball. Texas saw her yesterday. Nicole May is more down in the zone and off speed.
Former California Prep Player of the Year coming on here for Oklahoma. And for the first time tonight, Texas trails. They led it 2-0, 6 unanswered runs. They led last night 1-0, and then it was 16 unanswered runs for OU.
It's 30 minutes away from morning. I've been on the road.
3 more at-bats for Texas to work with. Top of the order is coming around on deck with Jefferson and Scott. Change up in for a strike, 3-2. "17 comeback wins on the season for Texas, including one in the national semifinals when they trailed by 5 runs to Oklahoma State. And Nicole May starts things off with a strikeout, 1 down.
Nicole May has the best changeup on the staff, and that's got to be the reason that we're seeing her in this game, really trying to mix up the timing of Texas. 2 changeups back-to-back on a 3-1 count, a changeup for a strike that Whitaker swings through, and then on a 3-2 count, another changeup on the outside corner that Whitaker watches.
Jefferson 1 for 2, singled in the first. That moved her up into a tie for 7th place all time with former Tennessee All-American Lindsey Schutzler. Now a holder of 12 Texas batting records. Top of the order, they're the ones that started the rally back in the first when they scored both their runs. Jefferson and Scott singled to get it going. They both came home on sacrifice flies from Washington and Iacopo. There's Mary. Snacking up before her at bat. A little sugar, a little adrenaline going. Popcorn. Kettle corn. Two pitch. Jefferson out to left center. Brito calling for it. 2 down. This Oklahoma dynasty over the last decade, their 10th World Series, 4 national championships. This is their 7th time to the finals. How about the last 2 seasons with a record of 114-7 under Patty Gasso? They're trying to go back-to-back for the 2nd time and win a 6th national championship with a win here tonight. Only UCLA with 12, Arizona with 8 have more. Jocelyn Allo era coming to an end. Will it be on a high? Scott, Brito coming on, makes the catch. The outfield play exquisite tonight for the Sooners. Robin hits and home runs.
This is such a tough ball because it's right on a line and then it drops off a table. Listen, Brito, not only the jump, but being able to get underneath to make the grab. Nicole May is so fired up.
It's time she comes to the plate for Oklahoma. She is due up 3rd in the inning with a 4-run lead in the 6th inning for the Sooners. They win it. They are the national champions. The party starter Riley Boone 0 for 2 so far tonight.
Ball's down.
RBI single for Taylon Snow, RBI double Alyssa Brito, and then the 3-run blast off the bat of Kinsey Hansen after they fell behind 2-0 tonight. Through the wickets, Jefferson tries to make the play. Boone safe at first.
love the effort too. I mean, it's right off Haley Dolcini's inner shin, but Janae Jefferson the dive. Of course, Riley Boone the speed. No way she was going to get her out, but you got to love the effort just getting to that.
Just to your point, I think if that's anybody other than Riley Boone's speed, she makes the play. It's incredible.
We'll bring up Jada Coleman with Alo on deck. Jada singled in the first. Popped up and flew out.
Ball 2.
Boom. We'll move over to second. And the wild pitch. Third batter that Dolcini has faced after she got the final out of that 5th inning. Back out for the 6th. 6 more outs for the Texas Longhorns to work with.
Ball's down.
Three and one. The last time Dolcini and Alo got together in the first inning last night, Jocelyn hit a home run.
Ball.
And there will be 2 aboard for Alo. And perhaps her final career at-bat.
Time to eat! Time to eat!
Dad Levi says, time to eat. Not sure she's going to get a pitch here.
Ball.
On the 2 home runs that Alo has hit off of Dolcini have been inside screwballs. They start her off on the outside corner. See if they stay away from her.
Let's go, kid! Let's go, You see where they're living, let's go!
You see where they're living. Even Dad knows.
Alo through the glove of Washington. It was hit so hard, and the bases are loaded for Oklahoma. And in what might be her final at-bat, a base hit.
Bases loaded. Now what?
And they are loaded for Tiare Jennings.
You heard Dad. Low and away is where they're throwing me. I'm gonna look there, hit this one so hard. Almost takes out the glove of Washington, who was already looking to turn that double play. They had Boone at second base as well.
Ball's down.
Jennings reached on an error, hit into a double play, and singled in that 4-run 5th. They already have 3 grand slams in the World Series. And Tiare has one of them. They didn't have any in their first 14 trips here to OKC.
Ball.
Jennings and Jana Johns grand slams against Northwestern in their opener here on Thursday.
Ball.
3-1 to Jennings. Full count.
I say go green right there. Look at that. Go to college. See the
Jennings out to center. Coming on is Dayton, and she makes a terrific catch. Tagging from third is Boone to come in to score to make it 7-2, and Jennings gets the sacrifice fly.
So usually sack flies are going back, but because they're playing so deep, Bella Dayton has to come running in, leave her feet going to the slide, which is why it makes it an easier sacrifice fly. But they play this Oklahoma Sooners team, especially the last two batters, on the warning track. What would have been a routine fly ball ends up being a sliding catch and another run for the Sooners.
Adding to her World Series record with a 15th RBI. Grace Lyons going deep and gone. 3-run shot for Lyons.
Just like that, the Sooners can continue to pile runs on. Grace Lyons protecting Jennings, who protects Allo. Those three hitters alone have over 50% of the home runs for the Sooners. First pitch swinging on an elevated screwball. This 3-run shot gets out in a hurry. That is her 23rd home run of the year.
Lions' second home run of this World Series, and for the 4th time in 6 games, the Sooners have scored double-digit runs.
Watch the posture. Grace Lyons talked about the reason her power numbers have doubled this season. This is a rise ball. Watch her body stay up to get up. She's able to keep that weight back, and look at how straight she stays to hit one of the toughest pitches in all of softball. Look at that straight line. A lot of times you see that weight go forward, you see the posture collapse, but Grace Lyons made this adjustment this season, and she stays on top of a rise ball. This is the 3rd time she's done it this World Series, and it's because of that mechanical change she's made coming into the season.
10-2 Oklahoma, and a pitching change for Texas. Runs 6th inning. They have scored now in 9 of the 12 innings in these 2 games in the Champ Series. There is no run rule in Championship Series games, so Texas still has a pair of at-bats. With her single in the inning, Jocelyn Allo now a 16-game hitting streak. She has been on base in the Championship Series 11 of her 13 plate appearances. Excuse me, the last 3 games. That goes back to the UCLA second semifinal game. 2 pitch. Oklahoma offense tonight turned it on after that 3rd inning. Couple of home runs, 10 runs in the 4th, 5th, and here in the 6th.
Ball.
Last year it was throughout the season for the Oklahoma offense, the best ever statistically in the history of the sport. This year, regular season they were a little bit behind, but they have picked it up with perhaps the best offensive postseason in the history of the sport, as Simpson gets a strikeout. 2 down. Good to see Sophia back out there for Texas tonight. Set up her and check, moving into next year with a solid base for their pitching staff.
Sophia Simpson had that incredible game against Arkansas, game 3, the Super Regional. Dulcini was basically fried, had thrown so many pitches. It was tight, not really available, and the freshman stepped up and shut down one of the best offenses in the country to get her team here to the Women's College World Series.
Lindsey Elam, the pinch hitter.
Ball.
Texas will have 3, 4, and 5 coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Told us the other day, the sticks are hot right now. She wasn't lying. Said the mentality for Oklahoma, we're here to hunt trophies.
Yeah, no panic. And even when they were down against UCLA in that first semifinal game, no panic. 30 minutes later, come out, put 15 runs up on the board. Even in this game here where they were down 2-0 through 3 innings, you could just see they're relaxed in the dugout, the confidence knowing that they can do just this. They can put crooked numbers up inning after inning.
Home runs from anywhere up and down that lineup. Big innings. They just pass that back. Chase each other around the bases. Quite often it's a trot. Simpson, a couple of strikeouts to end the inning, but 4 more on the board. 3 of them off the bat of Grace Lyons.
Grace Lyons, known for her defense her first few years at Oklahoma. Then she's brought the slug her senior season, and this one a big one. 2nd of the World Series, 8 RBIs. She's thanking God she's coming around the bases.
3, 4, and 5 for the Horns. It's Bella Dayton, couple of walks. Dayton, left center, on the run, Brito reels it in. 1 down.
I feel like if you saw Alyssa Brito just walking down the street, she'd just be fist pumping like every 5 steps, because this is kind of how she lives her game. A nice job of getting to this between her and Coleman. I thought they might run into each other, both a ton of speed. Tracking this one down off the bat, it looked like a double. Brito says no.
There's Alyssa Washington. Sacrifice fly in the 1st, struck out looking at a changeup in the 3rd. That was against the starter, Jordy Ball, who stands to be the 8th freshman to win a championship series final and avenge her only loss of the season at 21-1. Texas got her back in April.
May really starting to settle in. Nice curveball on the outside corner to set up that rise ball. Gets the swing through. A little bit sharper rotation, a little more velocity.
Washington Coleman with room. 2 down. This might be the final at-bat in the career of Mary Iacopo. Drove in a run in the first with the sacrifice fly, hit into a double play in the third. Ball. They faced as much adversity as anybody this season. Had some real low moments early in the year. Started to find their way in the middle of the season. Hit some road bumps against the Sooners and against Oklahoma State. But it was Mary really that got them all back together for this stretch run. They call her Mama Bear. And the relationship with her and her roommate, Haley Dolcini, instrumental in getting them to the first champ series in school history. Jennings can't get to that one, and Iacopo is aboard with 2 outs.
Now batting for Texas, number 15, Courtney Day.
Here's Courtney Day.
Ball.
Oh, 1.
Ball.
Down in the dirt, Lindsey Elam able to get to it. Lindsay has come on now after she batted for Kinsey Hansen. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
That drop that she throws off speed just has so much downward rotation on it, movement.
Not that time, 2-2. Full count. Hope Troutline got the win yesterday in game 1. And now Jordy Ball and Nicole May trying to tag team for game 2. That would be fitting. The best pitching staff in the country this year. Out number 3 on the strikeout for Nicole May, and Oklahoma now 3 outs away from a title. Championship wins, looking for number 6, 3 outs away, but first Oklahoma will hit here in the top of the 7th. 7, 8, and 9 for the Sooners.
Ball.
Second night in a row they've rallied from an early deficit behind a 3-run home run for Kinsey Hansen and a 3-run home run from Grace Lyons. Looking to close out the legendary career of Jocelyn Allo on a high note. All-time home run leader. Number 2 all-time RBIs behind Jenny Dalton. And a 500 batting average this year to go along with her 3rd 30 home run season. Never happened before. You know, the greatest has put on a show here in Oklahoma City. As it stands right now, Allo's last hit at Oklahoma, a single and a run scored.
Well, no, it's crazy. You look at their numbers all year long, and they're off the charts, but they got even better in the postseason. Just stepping up game after game.
Well, we saw them in the regular season. I remember them talking about we can't wait for those games because they weren't facing a ton of competition. They had all those run rule wins. And as much as you're competing with yourself, you're challenging yourself, they wanted the challenge to come from the other team. And to get to this point, you really wait all season for these games.
Ball 4.
Sure walks to lead off. Allo may not be done yet. She would be due up now 4th here in the inning. What a job, though, by Patty Gasso and her staff, her son, JT, Jen Rocha, the pitching coach. I mean, you talk about pressure, the weight of expectation on this program all year long. Heavy favorites, number 1 from day one.
From day one.
And looking to go wire to wire. And hugs for Taylon Snow. One of those super seniors playing in her final game as the score stands. With Elam and Hope Troutline and Jocelyn Allo and Jana Johns. They'll have some big shoes to fill next season. Here is Jana. 2 home runs in her last championship series. They have found tremendous success, not only on the recruiting trail, but in the transfer portal, like Snow and Troutline and Johns. No doubt they'll be back in there again, as will everybody else. With massive numbers in that portal again this offseason. Three of the 4 starting pitchers in this championship series, products of the transfer portal. And while we've got a moment, how about a look at the Capital One rewarding performance? Kinsey Hansen, 3-run shot in the 5th inning that broke open a close game.
See her excitement Had some struggles this year, battled a knee injury, an ankle injury. That was her 8th home run of the year.
Scott to Jefferson for one, over to first, and the third double play of the game for the Texas defense. 2 down.
It continues to amaze me because we've seen this team struggle with the regular plays, but when it comes to the big ones, I mean, they turn double plays like it's what they do every day because they do. I mean, they've turned more double plays here at the World Series than we've seen from any team, and they make it look so easy. Mia Scott getting that over to Janae Jefferson. Where they've struggled is the ones that are simple, the ordinary.
It's their 8th double play, which is a new World Series record.
Hitting for Oklahoma, number 21.
Grace Green is the pinch hitter here for Riley Boone. In the 9th spot in the lineup.
Ball.
Simpson gets the swing and miss. 1-1. Last chance for Texas. In the bottom of the 7th would be 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup. See if they can work through that to get Janae Jefferson another at-bat. Janae singling and scoring in what may be her Texas finale. Full count.
Bro.
If Green can get on, that would bring Allo into the on-deck circle behind Jada Coleman. She's ready. Helmet on.
Well, they always say hitting starts in the dugout.
Green back up the middle. Jefferson across her body, and Grace is aboard. Send it down to Holly.
Well, tough throw there for Janae Jefferson, but as one of the top seniors we've ever seen play at Texas softball, you know, that double play record just going down. Great defense from them in this inning. She said, you know, it looks like I'm looking at a mirror of my freshman self when I look at Mia Scott, when she looks at Alyssa Washington, and the legacy that Janae Jefferson has left at Texas will live on the young players that have trained with her. She's invited them to work out, and her legacy is intact for the Longhorns.
Ball.
A holder of 12 records at Texas, including most hits and most runs scored. And her batting average of .425 also at the top of the list. 1-0 to Coleman.
A lot of these players going to play on professionally. Janae Jefferson in a couple weeks with Athletes Unlimited in San Diego. It's cool to see the seniors kind of take their legacy to professional level, the Olympic level. I want to keep seeing them play.
Well, especially Alo, who is undecided as of right now where she will be playing professionally. At least has not announced publicly.
There's the WPF, the Women's Pro Fast Pitch. Athletes Unlimited, 2 options, and I'm sure they are bidding for the best player.
At least there's options, right? Need to continue to grow that. Coleman popped it up. Washington has it. Side retired. Last chance for Texas. An extraordinary career. And a legacy left behind like no other. From the youngster from Honolulu, Hawaii, on the North Shore of Oahu. Is she going to get a chance to make a play? Yes, she is. Glove work from Alo. 1 down.
She came in on it a little bit. She was so excited. It's been a bit since she's played the outfield. And of course, they always say the ball will find you. And how about this one? She kind of goes a little to the left and gets back, but makes the catch ultimately, and this place goes crazy.
Her first put out since February 13th. And why not? The outfield play has been so good here tonight with Brito and Coleman and Boone. Patty Gasso out to talk with her infield, and Nicole May on in relief of Jordy Ball. Performance, they are close to matching it this season. The top 2 totals in OU history. And just the balance from the circle at the plate in the field. And Hope Troutwine gets another one for Alo. 2 down.
This place is going more crazy. Everyone on their feet. More than the home runs, anything else that we've seen. But their girl Jossie making 2 of the outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
The super slugger with a little glove love for the Crimson and Cream. And here comes Brito, and Alo will depart, closing out her career. Tears of joy from Jocelyn Alo.
Pitching for Texas, number 9, Mackenzie Parker.
Mackenzie Parker is the pinch hitter, the last chance for Texas.
Ball.
3-1.
How great is it for Patty Gasso to be able to have this lead in a championship game, to have the opportunity to do the things you almost want to script out like it's a movie. Putting in a senior in the circle, taking out Jocelyn to this crowd.
Ball's down.
And the walk. A season that started out 38-0, and then Texas beat them. Fitting that it is with the Longhorns that they will return the favor. If they can get one more out, and it is an opportunity for Janae Jefferson to get back in there.
Ball.
Dominant performance here in the championship series, winning last night 16-1, leading tonight 10-2. One and one.
Ball.
I'll tell you the one thing Janae Jefferson does not want to do right now is walk. She is triggering on every pitch, just a yes, yes, okay, fine, no mentality.
Play. Down to their final strike. Looking for their 5th title in 9 years.
Ball.
And Jefferson hit by the pitch. 2 on the 2 out.
No.
The hand and the knob.
The 5 titles in 9 years, by the way, if that sounds familiar. How about Alabama football under Nick Saban from 2009 to 2017? Sooners, one of the great dynasties in recent history, and a great hand for Janae Jefferson. Owner of 12 records at Texas, the greatest hitter in school history. Memorable for helping the Longhorns also get to this champ series for the first time. Here's Mia Scott. Rise chaser. 1 and 1.
You know what, these Longhorns go down swinging, that's for sure.
Scott chases Brito back, and a 3-run home run for Mia Scott. Really set the tone for big things to come following her freshman season. Here's Bella Dayton, still 1 out away from a title for OU. 2 runs in the 4th, 4 more in the 5th, 4 in the 6th for Oklahoma. 3-run home runs from Kinsey Hansen and Grace Lyons tonight. And now Jen Roach out to talk with Hope Troutwine. All 3 Sooner pitchers making an appearance in the game tonight. Jordy Ball to start. Nicole May came on, and now Troutwine trying to finish. Jocelyn Allo added another hit to her tally tonight. Fabulous ending to her storied career. Two-0 to Dayton.
Watch out. By 4.
Troutwine having some issues here in the 7th. Trying to finish this off. There's the number 4 batter, Alyssa Washington. We're going to run with that sacrifice fly in the 1st. A 3-run 7th inning here for Texas. Washington, the grounder to Jennings, over to first. Oklahoma wins it. And the trophy hunting Sooners track down national championship number 6. Back-to-back titles and a 5th in 9 years. And Patty Gasso and her son, assistant coach JT, hugging it out. A pressure-packed season where they were number 1 from day 1. And they close it out with another trophy and a capper of a career for Jocelyn Allo.
It's just amazing to watch her, the records that she set, what she did for the game, the way she elevated it. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be a little weird watching the Sooners next year without number 78 in the lineup.
Beginning to end too. I mean, start of the season, the expectation of winning it last year, going back to back. The home run queen from the breaker in Hawaii that Holly talked about, to break the record that Lauren Chamberlain had, hitting 30 more to keep it going.
Sooners celebrate in Oklahoma City, 10-5 the final, and they hoist the hardware on high. Hope Troutwine celebrating that final out. Taylon Snow, one of the seniors, joining in with her. They both transferred into Oklahoma in recent years to be a part of a moment like this. A remarkable 2-year run. 115 wins against 7 losses and 2 championship trophies.